150 million MyFitnessPal users got their data stolen, Australia passes a big infrastructure security bill, and Facebook introduces new security settings. All that coming up now on ThreatWire. Greetings! I am Shannon Morse, and this is ThreatWire for April 3rd, 2018. It's your summary of the threats to our security, privacy, and internet freedom. Our Patreon is over at patreon.com/ThreatWire, and that is always the best way to support the show and will help us reach our next goal. And if you want access to exclusives, make sure to check out that link in the show notes below. And now, on to the news. First off, MyFitnessPal. Have you ever used MyFitnessPal? It's this app available for different smartphones that lets you track data on your health and your fitness. It sounds super useful. You can create goals and it will help you get to those goals over time. Yay! Well, unfortunately, Under Armour, owners of MyFitnessPal, announced on Thursday that 150 million accounts were breached in a hack of the site and the application. According to a press release about the breach, Under Armour first knew about the problem on March 25th, 4 days before announcing it. An attacker had gained access to accounts in late February 2018, so they had access for about 1 month. Now, this was a very quick turnaround from discovery to a public announcement. Affected information includes usernames, email addresses, and passwords which were hashed using bcrypt. Now, some of the data leaked was still encrypted with SHA-1, which unfortunately is not a good hashing algorithm, and it can be easily brute forced. SHA-1 requires less processing power, and it could still be used for users who had not logged into the site for a long time, while bcrypt would have replaced SHA-1 as the notable hashing algorithm of choice. Now, all the users that were affected were notified with an app, messaging, and via email. Any users of MyFitnessPal are urged to change their passwords immediately and make sure that that password is not used elsewhere. And if you did use your old MyFitnessPal password elsewhere, you should probably change it on those sites as well. It's very rare to have some international security news hit actual US airwaves, but when I come across some news, I try to cover it. Now, in Australia, the Australian Parliament just passed a new bill called the Security of Critical Infrastructure Bill, which will be used to protect infrastructure including gas, electrical grids, ports, and water supply from national security risks, which include espionage, sabotage, and coercion from foreign involvement. It's big news. Now, this new bill opens up 2 different measures. Number 1 is tracking who owns and operates infrastructure, and number 2 is allowing the minister to issue directions to said owners whenever there is a risk. The bill also allows the ASIO, which is Australia's Security Intelligence Organization, the ability to provide advice to the ministry based on security assessments, and the minister can then direct owners and operators to do certain things. Now, this doesn't give the minister full power over critical infrastructure, though. He or she would still have to take the ASIO's security assessment into consideration, as well as consult with other heads of government, as well as the owner or operator involved before being able to actually command them to do anything. So the power is limited as a last-ditch effort. Now, since most infrastructure in Australia is privately owned and operated, none of them necessarily follow the same book of rules and regulations, so adding government oversight could help without being incredibly intrusive. Since malware campaigns, DDoSing, data breaches are all becoming more and more common for these sectors, it's very important to assess and communicate potential flaws with other sectors that might be impacted by the same thing. Now, I do wonder, do you think that this is a good move, or is it too much government oversight? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Facebook, amid all of their problems with Cambridge Analytica and regulatory powers, has released new security options for users, including a feature called Access Your Information and an update to the settings menu on your mobile app. Announced on March 28th, the new settings will allow users to more easily download data as well as change security and privacy settings inside the application. The app's menu was redesigned so settings are all in one single page as opposed to 20 different pages, which how could could anybody navigate that? So I'm glad they changed that. Some outdated settings are no longer available, and clearer information is given for the current options. There is also a new privacy shortcut menu that details clear information on security, privacy, and advertisements. And this is where a user can set up two-factor authentication, they can log out of unknown devices, they can change personal information, control which ads you see, and so on and so forth. But if you are fed up and you just want to delete your account, I totally understand. Now it's easier to download all of your data. Under Access Your Information, you can view data that Facebook has stored in self-explanatory sections like photos, posts, likes, and reactions, etc. You can go and delete any of those or any one of those posts from sections in the browser. It is also easier to delete your account from the settings as well. But if you are like one coder, then just deleting your account is not enough. A systems admin named Kevin Matthew took it a step further by releasing code that can poison, obfuscate, and purge your Facebook data. So his script will open each and every post on your page, edit it, and then replace it with some randomly generated text. And he purports that by doing so, you'll mess up Facebook's algorithm and they will no longer be able to track your data. And the Facebook Purge JavaScript code is available for download via GitHub, and a walkthrough is available on his site. I love that entire thing. It's so fun. You're trolling Facebook. Facebook is also working on improving its ability to detect false profiles and accounts, as well as increase ad transparency, reduce the spread of false information, and combat foreign interference in relation to elections. Now, this includes requiring any political ad purchases to be verified with a US government ID and mailing address, but this only applies to election-based ads, not issue-based ones, which could be a loophole, as Wired points out. They're also rolling out fact-checking partnerships with the Associated Press, along with 6 other countries, so users will be notified if they share false information, and the post will be limited. If you are a Patreon patron, first off, thank you. You can send in your favorite stories on the community tab to get featured in the show. Everyone who supports ThreatWire at patreon.com/ThreatWire are the reason that we can keep on bringing you news every single week. We are on our way to the next goal, which allows me to cover the cost of upgrading the equipment in here, like this new camera and some of the lighting, and we will also open up a live video Q&A just for patrons each and every month, all of you. It's super exciting. Now, if you are already a patron, you get access to an audio RSS feed, first looks at show topics, polls, discussions just for patrons, and a lot more. Any little bit helps us grow the show. And this month, my goal is to get to 850 patrons. So we are just short of reaching that goal. So sharing the show with your friends, or if you haven't signed up yet, you could sign up and donate $1 a month. Any little bit helps, and I truly appreciate it. And hey, check out these fur babies. We got some new ones sent in by our Patreon supporters. Super appreciate them. They are adorable. Check out the perk levels on Patreon, and thanks again for helping us keep this completely independent. And if you can't donate, hit that little subscribe button. Make sure to share this episode on your favorite social media page. And with that, I am Shannon Morse, and I will see you on the internet.